Well, I have to say the corned beef was excellent.
I'm sorry I missed it.
All right, and a little shout out to Chief Davis, who I sat with at the table, and we enjoyed lunch, and we talked about freezing our butts off at the half marathon. So I did a little volunteer work and was managing traffic, and the chief came over to make sure I was doing it properly.
And again, I'm sorry I couldn't be there to help, but I did stop by. It was great to see the volunteers that were there and just the amount of runners. Though, as you said, it was a little chilly, so they didn't get quite the response, or not everyone who registered wound up coming.
Yeah, I think they had a little over 500 they expected. They had over 700 registered, and it was a little frosty. But we've got some footage of that event, and our reporters Dan Baker and Peter Chisholm were there, and of course, excellent footage from our journeyman cameraman, Brennan Marlowe. So check this out.
All roads lead to Ashland. It all started here, and it starts for all of you here today.
Hi, I'm here again with Bill Rogers, who's a regular at Ashland Races. I want to welcome you back again.
Thank you, Steve. And you know, Steve Greenberg, who kicked things off here in Ashland to give recognition to the city of Ashland for the fact that the Boston Marathon began here in 1897 and was run here for a quarter of a century, and to recognize the champions and their families and the volunteers and the people of Ashland and the BAA who helped bring the Boston Marathon to America as one of our greatest international sports events and a global event, really. So he's really bringing that history to life, I think, through these races that are now happening here in Ashland. Today it's the half marathon.
It is. It's great. He has a race earlier in the year during the fall, and now this one. I think it's great for Ashland. I know Steve's done a lot of work, and I want to congratulate you too. I know when I might have mentioned this in our last interview, but when you ran the marathon, one of your wins, I lived in Boston at 400 Comm Ave, the old Hotel Somerset, and I remember you watching you run by.
I loved running the marathon. I loved it. It was you know, sometimes it was tough, and I actually dropped out 3 times at Boston. And you know, some of the best runners in the world have tried and struck out, and that's the way it is. It's a hard sport, but it's a great sport, and the door is open today to all runners. And you have to qualify, though, for Boston. It's one of the most challenging events to get into, you know, because everyone seems to want to run Boston these days. But the history began here in Ashland, and it's a great connection. So everyone from this city and from this area can really be proud of the event, and I think these Ashland races are going to grow bigger and bigger in the years ahead, because this is a sport that's growing bigger and bigger and bigger, and it will never be a small sport ever again.
Well, thank you. You know, it's funny. When I was a kid, I ran indoor-outdoor track and cross country, so I know, and I've done a lot of road races when I was younger, so I know what it's like. And I'm so happy to see this such a large number of runners taking off here today.
Yeah, it's exciting, and you know, one thing is this is the sport where people get their health and you get your weight down and you're in a better mood. We're meant to move. We really are. It might not be running. It might be biking or swimming or walking, but these are the ways to kind of keep your health. You know, and we need to do that. It's very important. We all know that now.
Right. I want to thank you for taking a couple minutes to talk with us today.
Thank you a lot.
Okay, take care.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam? These broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land
Now, you did a fine job on the national anthem. What's your name?
I'm Sarah Kendall.
Sarah, are you from Ashland?
No, I'm from Southborough.
Southborough. Oh, right nearby. Yep.
Yeah.
But are you a runner by chance at all? Or?
I'm not, I probably couldn't
marathon.
run one of these, but
Yeah.
yeah, I do like to run. I do. Yeah.
That's good. You're a student of Berkeley?
Yes.
What year are you in there?
My sophomore year.
Sophomore year. Hi, I'm here with Ashland's Police Chief, Craig Davis. And Chief, you're not a marathoner. You told me you do some running?
Just a little running, more jogging than running.
That's good. It's important. It keeps in shape.
Right, absolutely.
We interviewed Bill Rogers just a few minutes ago, in fact, and he was mentioning the importance to one's health today in running. And I think that, even you probably know yourself, doing some cardiovascular exercises 4 or 5 times a week is really helpful.
It does. It absolutely does. Makes you feel better. Helps keep the stress levels down.
I'm sure, yeah. Any of your members of your family jog at all, or are you the jogger of the family?
Yeah, all my children do. They're all athletes. They're all runners.
That's really good. Well, how are you enjoying your time in Ashland, by the way?
Very much. Very much. Yeah.
Good.
Great people. So great community. Very close knit. The department has been fantastic, and I've noticed the community's been very supportive. So no, I'm enjoying it very much, and met some fantastic folks here.
Very good. I want to thank you for taking a little time to talk with us today.
Anytime, Peter. Thank you.
Okay, welcome, Chief. Name?
Andrew?
Andrew. And your name?
Bruce.
Andrew and Bruce, you guys just finished running a half marathon. How do you feel in this weather?
It was great in this weather. It's nice because you can push yourself harder and it keeps you cool. It's good.
Yeah, it's a beautiful course out there. It was a lot of fun.
Are either of you going to be running the Boston Marathon?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's good. We want to wish you well there. Now, you have a little accent. Where are you from?
Australia, Sydney, Australia. Yeah.
Are you in school in Boston? You live here now?
Here now. Yeah, I got my American citizenship a few years back, so I'm one of you guys now. So
Very
that's
nice, very nice. And
Just down the road in Wellesley.
Wellesley.
Yeah.
And are you pleased with your times today?
Yeah, definitely. Given the hills, there's 3 fun hills on that course. Given the hills, yeah, definitely.
One really fun. one like that.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's good.
Straight up.
Now, have you run marathons before?
Yes, yeah, run a few marathons before. Ran Boston last year.
Congratulations today on finishing.
Thank you.
I've been amazed. Just watching the first 30 or 40 runners. I'm going to guess at least 10 or 15 were women. They're running almost as fast as the men today.
Nice. That's exciting.
Yeah,
it's
is.
exciting.
Yeah. Where are you from?
Vermont.
Vermont. You got from Vermont.
Yeah.
Are you going to be running the Boston Marathon too?
I'm not. I'm going to run the Shires of Vermont in May.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. I know you got to be careful when you run marathons. Only do a couple a year.
Exactly. Boston should be special this year, though.
Yeah.
From the South End in Boston.
From Waltham.
Yep. And have either you run marathons before or half marathons?
Yeah, like a bunch. We're probably about 10 half marathons, 10 marathons.
I've done 1 marathon and a bunch of half marathons.
Very good. Are you going to be running the Boston Marathon this year?
Yeah, I'm running Boston this year.
I'm not fortunate. Not enough practice this year.
What was the course like here today?
It was tough. I mean, the weather's not that bad. I didn't really feel the cold, but it was the hills. I mean, I think they called it the Green Street Monster on mile 10. That was a real killer.
I'm here at the half marathon finish line I'm going to call it the mess hall. And one of the volunteers serving out the food to the runners after the post-race ceremony is Ashland Selectman Steve Mitchell. Steve, what do you think of the race today?
Well, it's a great event. I think the weather has been, needless to say, a little brisk, but still, it's a festive atmosphere, and it's just another great event that that's been brought to Ashland. Just terrific. So we've had a real blooming of these events, and whether it's a marathon, it's the market, farmers market, but these are all good things.
You know, I'm surprised. I talked to several runners who said that the weather, wasn't as bad as one might think. It might be bad for the spectators who were freezing like myself, but they said once they got going, it was pretty easy out there. It was, didn't really, the wind at times bothered them a bit, but generally speaking, it didn't bother them.
Well, I'm sure as a runner, you and I standing around and waiting for the runners to come in, I mean, it's a different sense of the cold, but but good for them. They did a great job.
Since this race is kind of serving as a prep for the Boston Marathon, I was pleased to hear the runners talk about the hills and how tough the course was, particularly on Green Street, because, of course, in the marathon, the Boston Marathon, they have Heartbreak Hill. But I think this has really proved to be a great training tool for marathon runners, those training with Boston, and hopefully that'll serve as a great inducement when they come back next year.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think it's it's called the marathon prep, and I think it's an apt description. So I think this is a start of another tradition here in Ashland.
It's this race used to be run down the South Shore, so I think we can say the South Shore's loss is Ashland's gain.
Absolutely, and kudos to the Ashland Sporting Association for their work in bringing this another good event to the town.
Now let me ask you this: what's a good sandwich to eat today? What are the popular ones?
I have to. My pedigree is half Italian, so I'm going to go with the spicy Italian.
Spicy Italian. I like spicy food myself. Steve, thanks for taking time to talk to us.
Thanks, Peter. Pleasure as always.
Well, we're back from the marathon, and Mark, you looked a little cold there.
I've just thawed out today.
Okay,
Actually.
Good thing. It's now Thursday, and that was Sunday. So a special thanks to the Connect Community Church. They did assist with some of the traffic, and they worked really well with the half marathon group to make sure that their needs and the half marathon needs were met. So it was nice to see that dialogue, and hopefully that'll continue moving forward. Because both institutes, the church and the half marathon, I think are things that are going to be continuing in the town. So